Hello and welcome to another video and another lecture uh, from Ethereum University. Today we're going to be breaking down in detail the Freemasonic 33rd degree symbol. Now, of course, this is a complex symbol and it's composed of many symbols put together to create a greater meaning. So, as you should know from my previous videos, a bit of context behind Freemasonry, what it particularly is, and I will give you a brief overview before we go into this. Uh, it's definitely important to know what Freemasonry is before we break down this symbol, okay? Because without the knowledge of Masonry and what it is, it's difficult to understand what the symbol truly means. So Freemasonry is all about building. The word mason means to build. And we're either building with light or we're building with darkness. So that we have good Freemasonry, we have good Masons, people who want to spread the truth, people who want to help people awaken their mind and liberate them and bring them up to higher consciousness. Or we have Masons who want to divide, keep the knowledge to themselves, create walls, build walls in people's minds, construct illusions in people's minds for their own personal gain. Okay? So we're either building with light or you're building with darkness. You're either building with light or bricks, spirit or matter. God and the devil, same thing. You're either uplifting people or dividing people. Each and every single one of you is a Freemason. Well, a Mason, not a Freemason, but a Mason. You are a builder. And you're either constructing division in you and other people, or you're either creating oneness. Everyone is doing this. Everyone is building. Everyone is contributing towards the world and building our reality. So Masonry is a craft, and that craft is to craft a better mind and heart, a higher consciousness, a higher understanding of the self, building a higher perception of yourself, getting to know who you actually are, why you are here. Every action, behind every single action, behind every single cause is choice. You chose to be here. Whether you know why you are here or whether you do not know. You chose to be here in this time, in this period of life on the earth, on this physical dimension. You chose, you, the mind of yours chose to be here in this body at this specific time. You are playing a role, you are building in this world at this specific time. So Masonry is all about getting to know the self, to know what you actually are through gnosis. Gnosis is direct knowledge obtained and extracted from direct experience. Knowledge extracted from direct experience. Knowingness. You know you have hands. You don't believe you have hands. You know you have hands. That's what knowing thyself truly means. To go within the self. To dwell in meditation for long periods of time. Not even meditation. To dwell closing your eyes and thinking internally. Not thinking externally about anything outside you, but thinking and questioning internally, and you shall find answers. Seek and you shall find. If your heart is truly set on knowing, on getting to know true knowledge and knowing yourself, then you will find it. Okay, so because that's what the heart is. The heart is where we find our treasure. It's why it's inside of our chest. Our chest holds the treasure. What is your treasure? Your treasure is your physical manifestation. And whatever you act, whatever your heart cares about, your body follows. Your body takes action towards what you care about in life. This is why we say follow your heart, because your body follows the heart, what you care about. If you do not care about something, you do not take actions towards it. Whatever your heart loves and has that love energy for, the body follows. If you truly want to become enlightened and truly want to reach higher consciousness, then you will. You truly care for that, then you will find it. You have to go within. Okay, so this is what Masonry is about. It's about going within and finding out your true nature and constructing a higher consciousness by dissolving walls and blockages inside your mind and heart, purifying the self. Because you can care about sick and twisted things. Okay? We can see that in society. People like killing people. It's psychotic, but I know. So we can be corrupted. Okay, so going into this symbol, what does the symbol mean? What is it trying to portray? Okay. Uh, Before we go into this symbol, particularly, uh, we're looking at the Scottish Rite Freemasonry. So we have the first degree all the way up to the third degree is Blue Lodge Masonry. Then from the fourth degree of Freemasonry to the 32nd degree is what we call Red Lodge Freemasonry, the Red Lodge degrees. So again, that is that symbolism of that red and blue, the left and right, masculine, feminine, water, fire. Uh, it's that symbolism again of the two polar opposites of reality, of masculine and feminine qualities, solar and lunar, the left and right hemispheres of the brain, the inner and out world, inner and outer world, the brain and the heart. These are all polarities, okay? Spirit and matter. We have to unify these. But we're looking at the 33rd degree. This is the end of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, and it's considered the illuminated degrees. Illuminated. This is when one gets to know the true self, the true knowledge, when one has gone within, mastered the self, got rid of mental blockages, uh, blockages in the heart, purified the self, and they know who they are. They have higher consciousness. And in this breakdown today, I'm going to show you how they have higher consciousness through this symbolism. Okay, so I was going to say something, but I totally forgot what it was. But anyways, we'll move forward with this symbol. Oh, that's what it was. Water melts, well, ice melts at 33 degrees, symbolizing ice represents solid matter, ego, the physical body, left brain thinking, physical reality identification, identifying self with the ego, the name, the job, the reputation. That's the ice, that's solid, that's ego thinking, left brain thinking. When we identify ourselves with the body, our ego, our name, our job, our reputation, our family, that is ego. That is pure earthly survival base level consciousness. This is the degree, this is the level of state of mind that we need to rise out from and figure out what we are, what you actually are inside you. When you turn off your thoughts, what are you then? If you do not think, you are not your name, your job, your reputation, your family, your beliefs. Because when the mind is turned off, there is still something left. That is you. And that is the substance that we have to get to know through gnosis, through going within and thinking internally and dwelling within. Okay. So Freemasonry is all about learning about the psyche, the true nature of consciousness, how it functions, the mechanics of consciousness, how we can integrate universal law with consciousness. We're going to be going into that. Natural law, how we can become one with God's law. We can become one with the universe and integrate universal consciousness into yourself. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say about this symbol, straight away, the first thing you probably notice about the symbol is the eagle. The eagle is a bird. Okay, what do birds do? They are high in the air. They are above the earth, which represents rising, rising consciousness, rising the mind out of the lower mind, earth-based survival, impulsive, reactive, egotistical mind. And we're pulling us out, we're rising from that. The earth represents that lower base survival consciousness, ego-driven thoughts. And we're rising up. The bird is free. It's free from the earth. Okay? It's free. It's elevated. It looks down upon the earth. So the eagle is a bird which represents higher view of self, a higher understanding of the self. It's elevated. We have a higher view of myself when I reach the 33rd degree. That is what it's showing you. That is what it's symbolizing. Okay? It's above the earth. It is free. It looks down. When you have higher consciousness, you become enlightened. It's impossible not to look down. You do look down on people, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. That sounds bad. I understand if that sounds bad, but that's not a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way or a bad-hearted way. I mean that as when you have higher consciousness, you can see people who are living and dwelling in zombie mode, low level earth based consciousness. They think they're the body, they think they're their name, their job, their reputation, their family. So it represents looking down because I have higher awareness of myself. I know what I truly am. The water is flowing at the 33rd degree. The water melts at the 33rd degree, representing the flowing of consciousness, the flowing of the mind, flowing of light energy entering the body. Because when we reach higher consciousness, when you raise your consciousness, which is just an easier way of saying mastering thoughts, mastering yourself, we no longer give attention to negative thoughts because we understand what thoughts are and why would you let your own mind take away your own power? So again, Freemasonry is about gaining personal power, not in a bad way. Well, it can be used for bad. Gaining mental power, a strong mind. Most people have very, very, very weak minds in this world. Very weak minds. This world is a mental world. We have to gain strength in the mind. It's a mental universe. The stronger the mind, the better your reality. The less affected you are by external things. Nothing external should ever bother you. Okay? uh, so it's about gaining mental strength, mental clarity. So again, the bird is elevated, it looks down, it has a higher awareness, it sees things from above, it sees the world for what it truly is. That's the eagle. Okay? It's the higher view. This is the illuminated degrees. So we're looking at now the sword. The bird, the eagle, the double-headed eagle is standing on the sword. Very symbolic. The sword is not above the eagle. The sword is below the eagle. The sword moves through the air. On a basic breakdown of the sword, it represents power. Power. Because if I have a sword, I hold the power over you. That's what it symbolizes. In war, you have a weapon bigger than someone else and more destructive than someone else, you hold the power. So it's a power symbol. To go even deeper on this, uh, on its true meaning, the sword, I've already broke this down plenty of times. It moves through the air. It cuts the air. It's the mind. Air represents the mind. Water is emotion. Fire is the spirit. Earth is the body. So we're looking at the mind, the power of the mind. And the eagle is standing on top of this, representing, I am conquering my own mind. I am conquering my mind. My mind does not conquer me. My mind is truly mine. I hold the power over it. I stand on top of my mind. The mind does not rule me. Thoughts do not enter my mind that take away my power. I think it, I feel it, I act towards it. It's unity. My mind is the monarch. It is the command center. It is mine. I'm above the mind. That's what it's showing here. I hold full control over this mind. I hold the power. Okay? And I have an elevated view of the mind. The eagle is elevated. It looks at the earth from above. It's the higher perception of the mind. The mind has a higher view of the self. It is conscious. Most people are not conscious. Okay? Most people walk around, they act unknowingly, they don't even know they don't even know they exist. They don't realize they have consciousness. They think they grew from a monkey. They're born on a spinning ball in the middle of space, and they think they're the body. That is the level of earth-based consciousness. And it's saying, I hold the power. I hold my mind to what I want to direct the mind's forces to. I create with my mind. I carve reality. I shape my reality with my mind and thoughts and my intellect, my communication. Okay? That is what we're looking at here with the sword. It's on top, meaning I control it. When you stand on top of something, you are the top. You are on top of it. You hold the power. You rule over it. When you are the boss of your business, you rule the business. That's what we're looking at here. The sword needs sharpening. It always needs sharpening. You can't use a sword forever. You need to sharpen it. The mind will not stay powerful and strong and and aligned with what you actually want unless you continuously refine the sword. The mind needs to be refined or reminded. If you stop doing affirmations, the mind will fall back to old ways of thinking. If you constantly meditate, you constantly implant the messages into your subconscious mind, you constantly visualize, you are keeping the mind sharpened with what you want in life, what you are trying to create. And the mind will continue to think with that power, with them words, with them visualizations. If you fall off, if you stop meditating, you will lose control of your own mind. Okay? This is symbolizing you have to keep on top of the mind. You have to keep control. This is what the world is. The world is like Minecraft. You ever played Minecraft? You're a builder. Okay? What do? You control the man in the world. That's what you are. You need to control this body in the world. It's all about control. You are in a game. It's like Grand Theft Auto. You don't know how to use the buttons. You're going to create chaos, and you're not going to have that much fun in the world in GTA if you don't know how to work the buttons. Same with this world. You are in a world, and you need to learn the buttons of the body, the mind, the soul, the heart. How will these things function so you can actually live a better life and create what you want in the world, aligned with natural law, of course, unless you want to walk down the path of Satanism. So this is what we're looking at with the sword. Now, moving on, we're looking at this little banner here. This says "God and my right" in Latin. God and my right. What is your right? Natural law is your right. What is natural law? You already know the natural laws. We all intuitively know the natural law. What is natural law? Do good. We all subconsciously, on a soul level, we know to do good. We know to do right. It is wrong to hurt people. It is wrong to control people. What is your natural law? What are the forces that you hold power over, that you have full control over? You have full control over what you think, what you feel, what you act. Thought, emotion, action. If you start to try and control things outside of them three forces, that is now you breaking natural law. If I try to control and manipulate someone else, that is now breaking natural law. I'm going against my inner law. My soul tells me what is right and wrong through emotion. So it's about aligning the self, my actions, my thoughts with my emotion, my intuition, my natural law. These are your rights. Your rights is to think, feel, and act with the law, with good, with God, with love, with care for one another. Am I building with light to bring good things to the collective? You see, most people are stuck in their left brain, and the left brain only sees me, me, ego-driven thinking. That's why they trap us in our left brain. They train us to be left brain. They tell us to write with our right hand to strengthen the left brain. They call it writing. Everything in this matrix is to activate your your left brain. Why? They need you in ego consciousness so you can be controlled and manipulated. So you do not recognize patterns. That's the right brain. The right brain recognizes patterns, symbolism, metaphors. They don't want you reading between the lines. They want you logical. They want you divided because the right brain sees the whole. The right brain sees the woods. The left brain sees the trees. And that tree is your ego. And the woods is the collective consciousness. They want you only thinking about you. Because that way you are divided from the collective consciousness. And we're all one consciousness family. We're all God. We're all God experiencing himself. And we are all building this world. So it's about aligning the self with my right, with God, with natural law. It's what Freemasonry is about. True Freemasonry, light Freemasonry, not dark Masonry or evil Freemasonry, whatever you want to call it. The crown, royalty. Royalty wear crowns. And what do the royalty have? Again, this is another power symbol. They hold control. Yes, royalty hold control. And that's why this crown is at the top of the image, not at the bottom of the image. It's at the top, representing I control the left, I control the right. I control my left brain and my right brain, the two eagle heads, the two views. The eagle has one eye on each side. It's looking, it's seeing. And that's symbolic of the left and right brain. We see, not physically see, but I mean perceive. We perceive reality with the left brain and we perceive reality with the right brain. And it's about unifying these two brains so we can see and perceive reality from a true lens. Because if we see reality only from the left brain, and a left brain dominated brain, we see everything as divided. But if we see everything from a right brain perspective, we see everything as whole. When everything is in the middle, you need to see reality from the middle. Yes, I have my own personal consciousness, and yes, there is a collective consciousness. So I need to balance between that. I need to see reality between the line, between the left and right brain, and align this worldview, and align my thoughts, align my actions with this. Because if you're left-brained dominated, you're only going to take action on ego. You're only going to take action on me. You're only going to think about me, me, me. But if you're right hemisphere brained, you're only going to take action for the collective, which is, yes, that's good, but you also need to think about yourself. Why did you come here? Your life has a meaning as well. It's not just about the collective, it's about you as well. But we need to balance this. You see? This is what we're looking at. The crown is in the middle, representing the balance, the power over the two. Okay? It's the balance, it's mastery, it's control. Royalty hold control over society, royal families. So it's about controlling the self. It's control over the eagle, control over the sword, over the mind. It's about personal power we're looking at here, self-control. Now we're looking at a upright triangle, which represents the element of fire, which is masculine. Masculine is all to do with action, action, the physical body. We're looking at fire, which represents spirit or transformation. Fire is a very transformative element. It transforms things. Okay, so we're looking at self-transformation through action. This is what we're looking at here. Fire is a very, very masculine force, a very penetrating and transformative force. So we're looking at transforming the self, not through knowledge, but through action. We have transformed the self, 33rd degree. I've reached the 33rd degree and I have now fully transformed. Now, there are higher degrees than 33rd degree, but we're just breaking down the symbol. That's a whole of a lecture. But this represents full transformation. 3, another, if you watch my video on numerology, you know 3 is all about what? Transformation. Thoughts, emotions, actions. These are the transformative forces that turn and create reality. Jesus dies and dies and resurrects after 3 days. Transformation from dead to the awakened. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. God is threefold. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Electricity, magnetism, dielectricity. The 3 forces that pretty much create physical matter. Transformation is 3. So we're looking at transformation through action. Action is a very transformative force. There's no point learning this knowledge if you're not going to act upon the knowledge. A lot of people join the university, they learn a lot, but they leave because they don't want to take the action. They don't want to do the hard part. They don't want to act towards higher consciousness. They want to dwell in their lower mind. That's fine. That's your path. That's their path. But if you truly want to raise your consciousness, you have to act upon it. You have to actively not take the action. It's about what you do and do not do, because not doing something is also an action. If you are not participating in the low level pleasures like sex, casual sex, uh, you know, masturbation, going out and getting blind drunk, these are low level pleasures. It's going to keep you on a low level frequency and a low level consciousness. That is also an action, not doing that. It's about what you not do as well, which is very important. You have to act upon it to reach this degree. You will not reach this degree if you have not taken a lot of action towards reaching higher consciousness, reaching self-mastery over the mind, controlling the mind. This is what, again, it's about taking action on actually controlling the mind, controlling the self, gaining your power. Okay? Okay. This is another fascinating part about the eagle head and wings. It also represents the past, present, and future. The crown is, again, symbolic of the crown chakra. This is all to do with knowledge. So we're looking at knowledge of the past, the eagle on the left looking behind, and the eagle on the right looking forward. So we're looking at the crown, knowledge of the past and the future. Looking at your past is very powerful. What has led you to this very point in your life? What actions have taken you to this point? And not only you, remember, there is a collective. Remember, you always have to keep that in mind. Every action you take, you have to always align it with the collective consciousness. It's not just you in the world. We have a collective. So how did you and how did the collective get to this point in life, in this present? How did we get here? How did we get into this mess? Humanity is in a mess, a straight up chaotic mess. And if you think everything is perfect and everything's divine and everything's just, there's some people out there in the spiritual community saying, everything's divine, everything's meant for this purpose. No, there are people actively manipulating and using mind control methods to control this reality. How have we got into this mess? So we have to look into the past to analyze patterns so we can take action now in the present to change the future of the collective and your personal life. That's what we're looking at here. So the eagle looking left is looking in the past, representing analyzing the past, analyzing the actions in my life and the collective life. The actions that led to this mess now, to this state now. And what can I do now with my knowledge to change the future to a better future aligned with, again, natural law, aligned with goodness, aligned with God, aligned with care and love for one another and the self. So it's all about knowledge of the past and knowledge of the future. And what I can do now to take action, the triangle pointing at the middle, which is the present, what can I do now to change the future? To create a better future, to transform the world. 33, transformation. To transform the future. Okay, this is what we're looking at here with the two double-headed eagles as well. Again, this is more art. This is a lot more complex symbolism here. But again, we have the Earth hemisphere here and what? The eagle above. It is raised above the earth, above material pleasures, above the material thinking self, above the ego. Not to say we get rid of the ego. We need the ego, but balancing, control, power over the ego, power over the two hemispheres of the brain, power over my past and my future, power over time. What am I using my time towards? Time is your spiritual currency. Okay. It's elevated. It sees things from a higher perspective. It is higher consciousness. We're also looking at the astral body. Birds on a deeper level represent the astral body. So symbols have layers of meaning. The deeper you get into the occult, so when you join the first degree, you get, a good interpretation, and the higher degree you go, the more deeper the symbol reveals, as the more deeper you know yourself. So we're looking also at the astral body, the light. What is the light? Light is a massive symbol in Freemasonry. It's knowledge, gnosis. When you're very intelligent, you call someone, they're a bright child. They have enlightenment, light in the mind. Looking at light, a lot of knowledge, a lot of self-knowledge of the self, of the psyche, how I function, what I am, knowledge of the astral body, rising above the earth, astral projection, exploring your true nature, exploring consciousness. This is what we're looking at here. And in order to explore your astral body and explore the astral realm, you have to control the sword, the mind. And you can then explore. You are free like a bird to fly. This is all symbolic of rising consciousness. All symbolic. So I hope this video has gained a bit more clarity on this symbol and giving you some insights. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in today.